Welcome back to the deep dive.
Hey, great to be here again.
So what if I told you that the secret to dominating the internet today isn't actually creating content?
Right, which sounds totally backward.
Exactly. What if it's about becoming like a digital ghost? Just a completely invisible middleman sitting right between this massive demand and automated supply.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah, and today we are looking at an absolute masterclass in modern digital arbitrage. We're breaking down a strategic blueprint we found from a company called PressReleaseCloud.io.
And this document is wild.
It really is. It details a strategy that promises to help you close deals worth up to $2,000 while you sleep.
Which is always the hook.
Right. And all by leveraging AI to do technical work that you might not even know how to do yourself. So our mission today, for you listening, is decoding what they call the multicasting method.
Yeah, and it's a fascinating look into the mechanics of the modern gig economy, but just completely mixed with artificial intelligence.
Because it's not just about side hustles anymore.
No, not at all. We are exploring how everyday people are attempting to capitalize on this overwhelming algorithmic demand for multi-platform content.
Right.
The core premise we're dissecting today is this idea of broadcasting a single offer across multiple channels simultaneously. You capture clients, and then you completely outsource the fulfillment of those services.
I mean, the tagline they use in this blueprint is incredibly seductive. They summarize the whole operation as, let me find it, one offer, multiple channels, broadcast once, show up everywhere, and close deals while you sleep.
It's very catchy.
It is. But before we get into the whole, closing deals in your sleep part.
Because your scam radar is definitely going off.
Oh, it is blinking bright red. But we need to set the stage first. The blueprint paints a very stark picture of the new landscape of audience attention.
It really does.
Because the days of a business just throwing up a basic website and, I don't know, maybe a monthly email newsletter, those days are completely dead.
Oh, absolutely dead. The landscape today demands absolute omnipresence. Because the algorithm on any given platform favors native content. You cannot just drop a link to a YouTube video on Twitter or LinkedIn and expect anyone to actually see it.
Right, because the platforms actively suppress external links. They want the users to stay on their site.
Exactly. So businesses are now forced to meet their audiences exactly where they already hang out, natively.
I like to think of it like a local restaurant.
Okay.
Like 10 years ago, a local restaurant survived entirely on foot traffic, right? People walking by the window.
Sure.
But today, if they aren't simultaneously on like 5 different delivery apps and running Instagram ads and showing up on Google Maps, they simply don't exist. It's totally overwhelming.
That's a great analogy. And practically speaking, for a modern business, that means producing short-form vertical video for TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Right.
And at the same time, long-form professional text posts for LinkedIn, highly visual carousels for Pinterest, and maybe even a weekly podcast for Spotify.
Well, at the same time.
All at the exact same time. And Press Release Cloud's documentation highlights this as the only viable way smaller entities can actually compete with the big boys.
Because historically, a Fortune 500 company had, what, a marketing department of 50 people?
Yeah, optimizing content for every single individual channel. A one-person local business couldn't possibly match that output.
No way.
But now, the market just expects that same level of footprint from everyone, just to survive.
But, just knowing that you need an omnipresent brand doesn't magically create one.
Right.
Which brings up a massive technical bottleneck. We only have 24 hours in a day.
Exactly.
If I'm running a mid-sized accounting firm, I do not have the time to sit down, record a video, extract the audio for a podcast, write a blog post, and design an infographic.
You're busy being an accountant.
Exactly. And that bottleneck forces businesses to look for a shortcut, which leads us directly into the titular method of our source material today.
The multicasting method.
The multicasting method. So break that down for us.
Yeah, so multicasting is essentially taking one single piece of content, like a seed idea, and transforming it into multiple distinct formats.
All right.
The blueprint specifically outlines turning one concept into infographics, videos, images, PDFs, presentation slides, and podcasts.
Wow.
And then distributing them everywhere instantly.
So instead of a Swiss Army knife where you just pull out one tool at a time, it's more like a prism?
Oh, I like that.
Like you shine one single beam of white light, which is your core message, into this system, and it automatically refracts it into a full spectrum of colors, hitting every single platform simultaneously.
That is a perfect way to visualize it. But
Yeah.
we have to look at the mechanical reality of how that prism actually functions.
Right, because doing it manually is a nightmare.
To do this manually requires an absurd tech stack. You have to understand video editing timelines, audio equalization, graphic design principles.
Plus copywriting formulas for different character limits on different apps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, I'm looking at this list of deliverables in the blueprint, and I'm just thinking about the sheer labor involved. Taking one idea and optimizing it into a PDF, a video, and a podcast. Is this really feasible for the average person to just start doing?
Well, the blueprint freely admits that it's incredibly labor-intensive. They don't sugarcoat the technical barrier at all.
Yeah, they use words like extremely difficult to set up,
Right, and they call the optimization process long and tedious.
so they know it's hard.
They emphasize that barrier on purpose because it sets up a brilliant paradox.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, they establish that it is practically impossible for the average business owner to execute this on their own. Yet in the same breath, they declare that everyone absolutely needs it in order to be and stay competitive.
So it is a trap.
Exactly.
It's a mandatory marketing strategy that most businesses are totally desperate for, but they entirely lack the technical skill or the software or the time to actually execute it.
It is the ultimate squeeze. And, in any market, when you have a massive, widespread pain point coupled with a steep technical barrier,
You have a business opportunity.
you have the perfect breeding ground for a highly lucrative service industry.
Which brings us to the real meat of this blueprint, the arbitrage pivot.
Yes.
The document reveals that the actual opportunity they are pitching to you isn't in doing the multicasting work.
Right.
Like, you aren't the one editing the podcasts or formatting the PDFs.
No, the opportunity is in selling the multicasting.
It's like being a general contractor building a house.
Exactly.
The contractor doesn't swing the hammer or pour the concrete or wire the electricity. They find the client who wants the house, hire the specialists, manage the deal, and keep a margin. You just, take care of the sale while someone else looks after fulfillment.
You step in as the pure connector.
Mm-hmm.
You find the businesses that are suffocating under the pressure to be everywhere, and you connect them with the technical providers who have the software and skills to actually deliver the multicasting service.
And you just pocket the difference.
You keep the margin between what the client pays and what the provider charges.
Mm-hmm.
And we should unpack the financial stakes they mention here.
Yeah, I have to stop you there, actually, because the blueprint claims you can earn between $700 and $2,000 per deal using this exact model.
Right.
Of course, teaching you how to make $2,000 a deal by passing off work to someone else. My scam radar is back. It's blinking bright red again.
I get it.
Because being a middleman in a digital space with zero barriers to entry, it just sounds completely unsustainable. I mean, if I can do it with zero technical skills, why wouldn't the desperate business owner just go find the technical provider themselves and save the $2,000?
It's a very fair question.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to information asymmetry and the friction of vetting talent.
Friction. Okay, explain that.
Think about the local accounting firm we mentioned earlier.
The ones who don't have time.
Right. They know they need an omni-channel presence, but they don't know what a good API integration looks like. They don't know how to vet a prompt engineer or a video editor on a freelance marketplace.
That makes sense.
If they try to build that tech stack or hire cheap freelancers themselves, they might spend 50 hours and thousands of dollars on broken deliverables.
Oh, I've been there.
We all have.
Yeah.
So the premium they were paying the middleman is actually an insurance policy on their own time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They are paying for a frictionless result.
Precisely. To
Yeah.
them, handing over $2,000 to someone who simply says, I will make you appear on every platform by Friday is a bargain.
Right.
Meanwhile, the middleman takes that $2,000, goes to a vetted marketplace, hires a technical expert who already has the AI tools and automation workflows built out for, say, $500.
And pockets the $1,500 difference.
Exactly. You manage the deal. But unlike physical real estate, digital real estate scales infinitely. You don't have to drive to the job site.
So the blueprint is detailing a profound philosophical shift here. It's an invitation to move away from being the exhausted technician, trading hours for dollars, and instead becoming a pure deal maker.
Right. Leveraging that gap between demand and supply.
But that leads to the ultimate challenge, doesn't it?
It does.
Because it sounds incredibly simple in theory. Just sit back, be the deal maker, collect the margin. But if you're a person starting from scratch, you have no network.
You have nobody to sell to.
Right. So how do you actually find these desperate clients and facilitate these complex deals without spending all day cold calling?
Well, the source provides a very specific roadmap and technological shortcut for this. It transitions into a pitch for a 3-day live training.
Hosted by a marketer named Neil Napier.
Yes. The training costs $27, and it claims to be built specifically for beginners starting from absolute zero.
And they promise that by day 2, you start taking, quote, real action.
And the mechanics of that real action are where the strategy gets incredibly meta.
Yes. Because how do you cast a wide enough net to find clients willing to pay that $2,000 commission?
You use the multicasting method itself.
I literally had to read that section of the document twice to make sure I was understanding it correctly. The system you use to find the clients who want to buy multicasting services is multicasting your own offer to sell them the service.
Exactly. It's a recursive loop.
That is brilliant.
You are utilizing the exact omnichannel strategy you are selling to sell the strategy.
Instead of knocking on digital doors or sending cold emails one by one, the system teaches you to use AI-assisted tools to publish your offer across multiple platforms simultaneously.
Let's break down how that workflow mechanically functions.
Yeah, please.
Because the blueprint leans heavily on AI automation to make this possible for a complete beginner. You aren't manually writing 50 posts.
Right.
You might start with a single text prompt, offering your services as a digital growth agency. You feed that into a large language model.
Like ChatGPT or something.
Exactly. And it expands it into a thread for Twitter, a professional article for LinkedIn, and maybe a video script.
Okay.
That script is then automatically routed via an API to a voice cloning software to generate audio, while another integration prompts an image generator to create a promotional graphic.
All triggered from that initial seed text.
Yes. And then a syndication tool pushes all of those native formats out to the respective platforms at optimal times.
So you broadcast your availability as a middleman everywhere, all at once, with the effort of writing just a single paragraph.
You get massively more reach with a fraction of the effort.
And when a client finally sees your omnipresent offer on LinkedIn or Instagram and reaches out for help with their content, you simply pass the technical requirements down to your fulfillment provider.
The provider handles the complex AI workflows for the client's content, and you collect the commission.
It makes perfect logical sense. I mean, if you are going to sell businesses on the power of being everywhere at once, your own business offering better be everywhere at once, too.
And there is another layer of meta-awareness in this document that really cements how this whole ecosystem operates.
Oh, yeah.
Press Release Cloud, the author of the text we are analyzing. They explicitly note that they use this exact multicasting method in their own business every day to drive traffic.
Right. They are entirely transparent about practicing what they preach.
But they also reveal their own middleman status right there on the page.
Yes. At the very end of the blueprint, they provide the link to Neil Napier's $27 training, and they openly disclose that it is a partner link.
Right.
They state clearly that they receive a small commission if you, the reader, sign up for the course through their document.
So the document we are reading is, in itself, an active execution of the digital arbitrage strategy.
It's incredible.
Press Release Cloud is acting as the connector. They identified a demand, people wanting to learn how to make money online, and they found a technical provider fulfilling that demand.
Which is Neil Napier's course.
Exactly. They multicast this blueprint out to you. If you buy the training, they keep a commission without having had to design, film, or deliver the 3-day course themselves.
It is the ultimate proof of concept happening in real time. They aren't just explaining the theory of being a deal maker. They are actively deal making with you through the text itself.
It really forces you to look at the entire internet differently.
It's a very elegant, slightly dizzying piece of marketing. It perfectly demonstrates the leverage it's trying to teach.
Because every piece of content, every helpful blueprint, every recommended link is likely part of an automated arbitrage loop.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Let's just trace the path we've walked today.
Okay.
We started with the harsh reality of modern algorithms, the undeniable fact that businesses must maintain an omnipresent, multi-format digital footprint just to survive in a crowded market.
Then we examined the grueling technical barrier of actually creating that content, the dozens of software tools and hours required to turn one idea into a blog, a video, and a podcast.
And then we uncovered the multicasting method. not just as a content strategy, but as a business model.
A framework built entirely on avoiding that grueling technical work by acting as an AI-assisted middleman.
Right. You bridge the gap between desperate, time-starved businesses and the technical providers who handle the heavy lifting, all while utilizing those same automated syndication tools to broadcast your middleman services to the far corners of the internet.
But, looking at the mechanics of this system raises a critical question about economic viability.
And the future of digital markets, really.
Exactly.
Let's hear it. Because any system that relies on a hack or a shortcut usually has an expiration date.
Well, the entire premise of this arbitrage model relies on the current friction in the market.
Okay.
It relies on the fact that the business owner doesn't know how to use these AI tools to find a provider, but the middleman does. The middleman uses AI to cast a wide net, capture the client, and pass them along.
Right. Frictionless connection for a fee.
But we have to consider market saturation. If AI automation continues to advance at its current pace, making the creation of these complex workflows completely frictionless for everyone, what happens to the inherent value of the middleman?
Oh, wow.
If everyone is using AI to multicast their offers, the sheer volume of content floods the internet. And if every platform is flooded with automated, AI-refracted content, the economic value of that content approaches zero.
And as those AI tools become as common and easy to use as a Google search, the desperate clients will inevitably learn to use them to find the technical providers directly.
Exactly. If the technological gap between the buyer and the seller vanishes, the lucrative space for the deal maker vanishes right along with it.
Because the middleman thrives on inefficiency.
Yes. When AI makes the market perfectly efficient, the arbitrage opportunity collapses.
That is the double-edged sword of digital arbitrage. The very AI tools that give the middleman superhuman leverage today are the exact same tools rapidly accelerating toward making them obsolete tomorrow.
It is a race against market efficiency.
It really is. Well, whether you are ready to jump into the middleman game and start deal-making before the window closes, or whether you are simply trying to figure out how to use these AI tools to clone your own business presence across 5 different platforms by tomorrow morning, one thing is absolutely certain.
You can't ignore it.
No, the internet is no longer a place where you can just stand in one corner and hope to be seen. You either figure out how to build the prism and be everywhere, or you disappear into the automated noise.
Well said.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the mechanics behind the content you consume, and we will see you next time.